Hey guys, so today we've got a really short patch. I just want to go through a quick video, do a small summary of what happened. We have the new hero, Thighmane. I've already done several videos for Thighmane, and I'm going to be doing several more. I love seeing new supports added to the game. We really need more supports in general, so I really like this. I may play her quite a bit just to get a good idea of her different builds, where she fits in the meta, and then I'll probably update with a couple more videos after that. A few skins were added, some really cool skins. In fact, there's a few skins for like the you've got the Thighmane skins, which some things that are pretty cool about the Thighmane skins. Here, let me just pull up Thighmane really quick. Uh, so some things that are really cool about these Thighmane skins is two of the skins have animated textures on them. So you can see like the blue ribbons on her staff as well as her clothes have stars that are going through. And then in this one as well, there's like an aura to it that's constantly moving. So there's some pretty cool skins there. They also added moving animation texture skins for other heroes like Genji. Let me pull up Genji really quick. So he's got like this skin with these textures on it. Really neat. So I like the skins that they added in, but you can check all those out in game. They are in the game right now, unless you're in EU, and then sorry. User interface, they changed a few things. The design, they changed a few things. Like for Zag, summoned creatures do ability damage now. The other thing is they obey the blind and evade rules, which is pretty cool. So this is the main part that I wanted to talk about for this patch. Only 3 heroes were changed. Let's start with Jaina first because she got the smallest change, and then we'll talk about Chromie and Stukov. I've already done a video on Stukov that was published today, so I probably won't talk too much about him, but let's go to Jaina really quick. Jaina is having 3 things changed. Her damage is being reduced by about 20%, a little bit under 20%. However, her damage now benefits from Frostbite, which increases her damage back to where it was before. And her damage now counts for the Frostbite quest. So essentially, the Water Elemental's first attack is going to do slightly less, but every attack after that is going to do about as much as it was doing before. And then it's also going to add to your quest, making Water Elemental as good or better as a pick than it was last time. And the reason I say this is because you can pick Water Elemental and speed up the rate that you're increasing your quest, which is your Ice Block quest, meaning that you may be able to get Ice Block earlier because your Water Elemental is going to be constantly adding damage onto it. Pretty nice. I like the changes. I don't know why they made these changes, but I like these changes. On to the Chromie changes. I'm going to put this as simple as possible of what they're doing to Chromie, and I will do a video on Chromie later. They are removing her unpredictableness. So her W now is going to show a visibility for 0.5 seconds after cast, meaning that there is an area where you can dodge her Ws now. Her Q is going to be a faster cast but lower range. Her W is going to be lower range, and there's a few other like slight things that are being changed. The scaling of the damage for her Q has been increased, but she no longer gets the Q bonus damage from hitting heroes. Pros and cons to that. You can pick Chromie on maps that don't require people getting constantly hit. Like on Braxis, you'd see Chromies with 90 to 130 stacks at the end of every game, just blowing people apart. So you can play Chromie on maps that aren't those maps. The cons to that is the fact that I guess the cons for Chromie players is that if you are on those maps, she won't be as scary. The pros for all non-Chromie players is that she won't be as scary on those maps anymore. Still pretty scary because you're going to be sitting in those areas for a long time getting hit by damage. And her abilities are still going to be scaling at a decent rate, making her abilities pretty scary. They wanted it to be a smaller variance between the Chromies that were like uber fed on stacks and the Chromies that were like underfed, so you weren't like worried about, say for instance you were going to Chromie that didn't get a lot of stacks, you would get hit by a Q and it wouldn't do very much, and compared to a Chromie that was super stacked, a Q would do like half your health. So they wanted to lower the variance of it to where you could always predict how much damage a Chromie's doing and predict where her abilities are going, making her more predictable. A lot of people are worried this is going to kill Chromie. I mean, I don't know if that's something you should be worried about, but personally, I don't really think so. I think that she's still going to fit and be powerful on the maps that she was already powerful on. I think a lot of her old builds will still work. My particular build that I used on her will still work. She's seeing a lot of changes in her talents. Mounting Sands now gives her, her Sandblast Echo does 40% more damage. So instead of doing 40% damage, it does 80% damage. Which means that it's essentially doing as much damage as you're doing with your Q, and it gets pretty scary, especially with the extra scaling in here. And they lowered the amount to unlock your Echo from 60 to 50, and Mounting Sand still increases the rate that you unlock it. So you can unlock your Echo pretty early on, and your Echo will be doing a lot of damage. However, the rest of her builds haven't changed too much. She no longer grants mana regen per globe, but instead, once you complete the quest, you get extra mana regen. Bronze Talons was removed, but they added it to a passive for her now. So she has Bronze Talons passively, which is a lowered version of it. It only doubles her damage. The old one did more than triple her damage. It added 250% extra damage. Now, her basic attack range was increased, so you can hit Bronze Talon's auto attacks a lot safer. So in my opinion, effectively in a team fight, you're going to be getting more damage off because you're going to be able to get safer attacks off with your Bronze Talons. So you'll get safer Bronze Talons damage, so more effective Bronze Talons damage. And if you did get the new Draconic Barrage talent, it adds an extra 100%. So instead of doing double damage, you're doing triple damage. And if you hit someone with it, then you get 2 Bronze Talons attacks, which means that you Q, hit a hero, and then you can hit someone twice for 300% of your normal auto attack damage. So it's pretty strong. Mobius Loop, which used to be the lower damage, lower cooldown, now only lowers the cooldown if you hit a hero, and it also refunds the mana cost. I don't know if I like this talent without getting like the larger radius one on level 2, just because you're not going to be landing a lot of these W's without combos. So level 5, I tend to still go the extra damage in case, that way if you get loop, you can pretty much still get that one shot off on people, especially if you've got some other things that are helping you out too. And then the range requirement for getting the reset on your Q has been reduced, so that's pretty good. Quantum Overdrive got buffed a little bit, so if you want to go with like the one shots, you could have a higher chance of doing that. They did end up lowering her damage a little bit, so that extra 5% could be what's needed to blow people up with a combo. Overall, I mean, the rest of her builds are still essentially the same. They just lowered her range a little bit, made her abilities a little bit more predictable, but made her Q a little bit easier to hit because it casts a bit faster now. And you could be moving around in fights a little bit better because you do move. 20% faster cast time means that you cast your ability faster and then you're back to moving again faster. So overall, I think the changes were pretty good. And then on to Jaina, we've already seen those. I've already talked about Stukov's changes. A variety of skins were added to the game. Most of these are just recolorings of other skins, but Stukov, Genji, and Ana all received really cool new skins. Whitemane has really cool skins, and Whitemane was released into the game. There were new portraits, sprays, and emojis for a variety of characters, mostly all of the new Viper things. There's new Viper mounts, and yeah, so that is what happened this patch. Just wanted to get a short video out there explaining all the changes that happened in the patch, as well as explaining what the general ideas behind Chromie are. I will be playing a lot of the new Chromie, new Stukov, Whitemane, and just Genji because the skin's cool, just to kind of figure out where they sit in the meta. Oh, another thing that they did was this. They lowered the size of replay files as well as reduced the amount of bandwidth required to transfer gameplay. That means that it may increase the speed that you reconnect to a game, because when you reconnect to a game, you're reading the replay file up until the game hits, meaning that you're essentially watching a replay at the max speed and you get up to the end of it. So reducing the size of replay files as well as the amount of bandwidth required to transfer the gameplay information can make it to where you rejoin the game a lot faster. And there was some debate about this on the PTR, and people were saying that they were reconnecting the games about 3 times as fast as they were before. Now, I don't know if that's just hype. That's just speculation right now. But let's just say that I'm hopeful to see what it looks like. I may end up testing it out in a game, get about 10 minutes into a game, unplug my internet, plug it back in, and see how long it takes me to get back into a game, just for research. So we'll see how it goes, and I'll let you guys know a little bit later how that worked out. Either way, thank you all for watching, and hopefully you are up to date on the Nexus.